Sometimes we need to tell a different story when it comes to supersizing and growing our business. So just a couple of books that I grabbed that I haven't had. This one is in the book hospital because my granddaughters like to, or my oldest granddaughter likes to really love her books. And that means sometimes she tears pages, rips out pages, especially on the thick ones where she thinks that there should be more pages. She rips them. And so we have to figure out ways in the book and toy hospital to repair things. I haven't gotten to it yet. I've got a whole pile. So today our idiom is to tell a different story or a different story. And this idiom is just like stories as old as time, right? People have been telling stories and using stories to convey messages and communicate information for as long as people have been able to communicate. Probably even before then in picture stories and cave drawings, as well as different types of nonverbal communication, stories have been conveyed in some way, shape, or form. So what does it mean? What does the idiom to tell a different story or a different story mean? I'll grab my magnifying glass. It actually means that, and it's the expression, it's used when a situation and the outcome turns out to be different from what was expected. So somebody's telling you a story and you have expectations of how something will end or turn out. This happens a lot in business. People will tell you this is a scenario, this is a story, this is what's happening, only to find out that something totally different or the opposite happens. Happens a lot in court cases if you've ever been involved in any of those. But it means to show that something is different. Something different is true than what you expected to be true. So mainly it's our expectations aren't met. So what does this have to do with telling a different story in our business in order to grow and help and supersize it? Oftentimes, many business owners that I've worked with and met want to tell the story of what's important to them, why they do what they do, and why they decided to do what they do, and how awesome and successful they are. But they leave out the most important part. They leave out the journey of how they got there, because the old adage, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, is so true, especially when it comes to serving other people with our businesses, solving problems for them, helping them. And oftentimes we forget, after we've gone on this journey and created this successful business, that we too were once usually in the shoes of the people that we're serving now, our customers. It's not always true, but I would say 99% of the time, the people that we decide to solve problems for and build businesses for and provide products and services for, when it's our own business, or when we started the business, is people that we once were. And that's usually a big aha and epiphany for people when we realize that. I know that I've been involved in lots of different businesses and industries, and I didn't necessarily believe that that applied to me, but it actually absolutely positively applies to me and the businesses that I've been involved in and created over time. So how do we go about, and how do we know if we need to tell a different story in order to better relate to the people that we're here to serve, our customers, our clients, the people that we provide products and services for? Well, the one telltale sign is we look at our results. If we're not getting the results that we want, we need to go back and say, are we telling the right story? Are we telling the story that our customers want to hear in order to engage and do business with us? Are we going back to our origin story and remembering when we were in their shoes and communicating in that way? Or are we communicating as if we're lofty and better than them? Because guess what? If you communicate as if you're lofty and better than the people that you're solving problems for and want to serve, you're probably alienating more people than you're bringing into your organization. The inside story, the real inside story, are we telling that real story to the right people? Everybody doesn't need to know it. Are we considering the audience when we're telling the portions of our story? Because nobody ever knows everything about everybody. I always think about this in terms of like a sitcom or a television show. They don't show you everything that happens in that group's life or that person's life. They just show you the key moments that are important to tell the story that they're trying to tell. And in that case, the purpose is to be funny and entertain. But when we are trying to say, we're trying to get a group of investors or somebody to joint venture with us or partner with us in our business, we're going to tell them our growth story and some of the challenges we faced and overcome to encourage them to know that we're not going to quit or give up when the going gets tough. things like that. So we have to pick and choose what parts of our story, and they're all our real story, they're all our true story. We just don't share everything with everybody, right? We don't share warts and all if it's not appropriate in any given story. So I really like this idiom. I think it's important. It's helped me a lot to understand that I don't have to tell everybody everything, although I tend to tell everybody way too much. That's one of the pieces of feedback I get from my family a lot. But I think if we are authentically who we are, and that's why I picked the She Inspires book as my Tell a Different Story, because it's a book that was given to me by my sisters for my birthday. One of my sisters for my birthday gave it to me. And it's to remind us that we pick and choose the pieces of our story that are appropriate for the audience that we're speaking to. And that's how we build and grow and supersize our business. I would love to know what you think about stories and telling stories. We're obviously talking about communication in this year's annual challenge this month, that part of the life framework. And so stories and communication are a big part of how we communicate, how we get other people to relate to us, and how we share information about what we're trying to do and what we're trying to accomplish in the world. That's it. That's our idiom for today. Any questions, hit me up. If there's a communication related idiom, since you now know I'm talking about communication this month, that you'd like to know the origin of and how you could use it to supersize and grow your business, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow.